Yesterday was Sanatan Goswami's disappearance day and also Guru Purnima. So let's sing this bhajan to worship the Supreme Lord. This bhajan is in Sanskrit. Sri Krishnasya Katha Sutram Yata Bhagavata Kramam Likyate Stotra Sata Pranamananda Siddhaye Sri Krishna Syakata Sutram Yata Bhagavata Kramam Likyate Stotara Sata Pranamananda Siddhye Brahma Brahma Namami Twamatma Nandishwareshwara Nanavatara Krit Krishna Madhurananda Purada Brahma Brahma Namami Twamatma Nandishwareshwara Nanavatara Krit Krishna Madhurananda Purada Jaya Krishna Para Brahman Jagat Tattva Jaganmaya Advaita Sachidananda Swaprakashikila Jaya Krishna Para Brahman Jagat Tattva Jaganmaya Advaita Sachidananda Swaprakashikila Nirvikara Parichina Nirvishesha Niranjana Avyakta Sattva Sanmatra Parama Jyotirakshara Nirvikara Parichina Nirvishesha Niranjana Avyakta Satya Sanmatra Parama Jyotirakshara Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Translation. Following the sequence found in Srimad Bhagavatam, I shall now describe the Supreme Lord Krishna. I shall do this in order to attain the perfection of transcendental bliss by offering 108 obeisances to Krishna. O Krishna, O supreme spiritual entity, O truth which underlies the universe, O ingredient of which the universe is composed, O you who are in one sense not different from everything, O you who are eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, O you who appear according to your own sweet will, O you who give shelter to all who approach you, all glories unto you. O Krishna, the Supreme Brahman, you contain the universe and you are the ultimate essence of the universe. You are without duality, full of truth, light, and bliss. You are self effulgent and provide shelter for all of existence. O unchanging and unlimited Krishna, you are always transcendently pure and free from material abode. You are the effulgence and infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead. All glories unto you. Hare Krishna. Srila Sanatan Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. God Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share this bhajan today. Wow, look at so that we can meditate on the wonderful Goswamis of Vrindavan. Thank you so much. Now I see Neela Govind Prabhuji has joined the call. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. We'll continue our discussion. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Gita, chapter number 2, text number 45. Trigunya Vishaya Veda Nistrigunya Bhava Arjuna Nirdvandva Nitva Sattvasto Niryoga Kshematmavan. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Purport. All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results, which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate to the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. Arjuna, as a student and the friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of the Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jignasa, questions on the Supreme. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely Karma Kanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of the Upanishads, which are part of different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is a part of fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of the transcendental life. As long as a material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities, such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities, become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in the full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. Hare Krishna. होमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवसदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं हरे कृष्ण. So, we'll conclude this sloka. Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. The modes of material nature bounds the jiva into Adhyatmika, Adidhaivika, Adibhautika. What is Adhyatmika? The problems which are caused through this body, mind, intelligence, senses. What is Adi Dhaivika? The problems which arise from the natural calamities, from external sources. Adi Bhautika, problems which are caused by the other living entities. Nature, one kind of problems. What kind of problems nature can give? Earthquakes, tsunami, heavy rain, heavy heat, heavy cold. Natural calamities. What is the calamities through the other living entity? Through mind, body, actions, through their association, they cause problems to us. What is Adhyatmika? Our own self causing problems. So, to whom that means a person who is under the grip of the material nature, who is actually leading the life of of leading the life through the external energy. That means he's on the material plane. He's not on the spiritual plane. Spiritual plane is Yogamaya, material plane is Mahamaya. He is in the Mahamaya state, not in the he's not in the Yogamaya. He's not in the internal energy, rather he's in the external energy. The person who's in the external energy, he's in the grip of this material nature. That means for him, the Adhyatmika, Adidhaivika, Adibhautika problems, they impact him a lot. That means the problems do come to pure devotees also, but the way they take it is a different, is in a different state. That's what Krishna is explaining. He's telling Arjuna to come to that Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Nistraigunya means it's not like we will not have any gunas. We will come out of these modes of material nature. That is Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. That means you elevate into the transcendental state. Now it's easy to demarcate that this is it's easy to tell. That means this is the external energy, this is the internal energy. Now we have to come from external energy to the internal energy. Now things are taken. Is it how it is? Now you told that this is external, this is internal. The work is also been done. It is accomplished. You move forward. Is that how it is? For example, you begin, is it like changing any gears in the car? It's not that easy. To come to transform one state from external energy to internal energy is a process. Just like what Shital Mataji was asking, how a sadhaka will come to goodness and how that goodness becomes to transcendence. It's an important question. How a sadhaka comes to goodness because he's in Rajo and Tamo. Rajo Tamo is is dominating the sadhaka so much. But he has to come to goodness. And from there, he has to go to transcendence. Goodness requires certain qualities. Transcendence requires even more qualities to go to that state. So, what is this? What is this state of transcendence? And what is this state of goodness? The moment I begin working on the plane, which I have some expectations, that is Rajo. That means, let's say you begin studying, and then, no doubt you want to become an IAS officer. You are studying, but you are not becoming. What that leads to? It leads to frustration. Because not just you, all the family members are asking, kya hua, what happened? What happened for the IS? Because they are also in that state. And then the moment I compare others to my own work, that is also Raja. See, that child is doing, why are you not doing? See, he is coming first, why are you not coming? That means, what are you doing? You're pressurizing the children. Sometimes pressure is good, but not all times. You have to tell. If you don't tell, how they will learn? For example, if we begin thinking that our children, oh, is only second grade or third grade, if I tell them like this, they will be pressurized. But they should know. You should tell in a way they can listen. You have to know that also. That means if that is not being given, then what happens is they will not understand that. That means you study, you work, but you leave the results. You study hard, you work hard. Because, see, it's a very clear indication, right? For example, if I don't study, if I don't work hard, or if I don't do any job, then what is that? That means his mind is a devil's paradise. It will say, it will actually degrade. See, if you are not doing any action, it will go to Tamo. It will not go to Rajo. It will not go to Sattva. Please understand. For example, I remember if we have some prescribed duty, and if you are on the name of spirituality, you are giving up that spiritual prescribed duty. For example, let's say your workload is reduced. Immediately you say, oh, this is Krishna's arrangement because oh, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. This is arrangement of the Lord. My workload is reduced. Now, after reducing the workload, what are we doing? Are we trying to use that time to uplift in Krishna consciousness? If that is what you're doing, then that is the right thing which you have done. But rather that we are complacent, then what happens? We go to Tamo. But if the prescribed duties are not actually performed, yajjat acharate sesat, not that one. Yajjat acharate sesat is what? Is the application you are putting into action. That's what Krishna is telling. If you don't put it, if I don't show as an example, nobody will follow. I have to show as an example. Yagnartat karma yatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Tadartam karma kaunte mukta sangha samaja. Yagdatat karmana yatra lokoyam karma bandhana. That means if the yajna of the fruit, if the sacrifice, if the prescribed work is being done for one's own self, then obviously that is Rajo. But what it will also give is, it will keep us in the karmic reaction. It will bound us in this material world, which is normal in this world. Because as everyone will stay here only, there's hardly anyone going out from this material world unless and until is fully taking up the science of Krishna consciousness. Huh? As per the words of the Acharyas, it's very difficult. Yaganartat karmana yatra lokayam karma bandhana. As this person is actually doing this karmic reaction for his own self, he will stay here. Because what is happening? Lokayam karma bandhana, it is bounded through these karmic reactions. What is happening? Karma bandhana is binded. The karma bandhana is established. So this karma bandhana, is that good? It is not good because this karma bandhana is putting us here. For example, if you do a work, it is raja because obviously we do it for ourselves. If we, on the name of spirituality, if you are quitting that work and if you are not doing any spiritual services, then what is happening? We will not go to sattva, rather we will go to tamo. Because earlier we were working, now we are not working. Then obviously what happens? The mind says relax. The body says sleep. So what is that? That is tamo. We head to tamo guna. But on the other side, when we begin working, at least when a person is working on a selfless, when he comes to sattva. What is happening? He's doing his work, but he's not having any expectation. We see some people in this world who are in sattva. For example, this person has done has given books to the schools where the children are poor children. But that person, he is not having any expectation of putting his name on the paper or telling everyone that I have done this. He has none of those things. None of those motives are there in his heart. That is sattva. That means he is doing a service. The service is on a selfless level. That is sattva. He's not expecting anything out of it. We see some people, some friends, they're in that state. They do help, but they don't ask anything in return. Hmm? What is that? That is sattva. But there is Shuddha Sattva also. What is that Shuddha Sattva? Shuddha Sattva means he's doing work. In the Sattva, what is that? The, the clarity of to whom he is doing is not revealed. That means he is not doing it for himself, neither he is not giving that to anyone. That's a selfless. That's one level of selfless. What is that? He's not doing for himself, but he's not giving it to anyone also. What is that? The results, he's not accepting the results. This is kind of an impersonal level. But this is in goodness. Why? Because he's at least in that particular state. Now, what is that? What is that state? Krishna is telling you avoid that and come to Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Now, how a person who is in Sattva, Rajo, and Tamo can come to Nistraigunya Gunarjuna? Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Arjuna, you should come to that Nistraigunya. Nistraigunya, transcendental to the three modes of material nature. This is not Sattva, this is Shuddha Sattva. Now, how that comes to Nistraigunya if you strictly serve Guru Sadhu Shastra? That's what Prabhupada is telling you, tolerate. For whom you should tolerate? You tolerate for Prabhupada. You tolerate to our teachers for their pleasure. If I tolerate, then he'll be happy. This is transcendence actually. Actually, dear devotees, there's another beautiful thing here. If you see, children are already in transcendence. If you see some children, they're very submissive. 1 year, 2 year old children, they're very submissive. Fathers or mothers says, you sit there, they sit there. You stand up, they stand up. You eat this, they eat this. They're not, they're not, they're not in a different state. They're not like, if you give me a doll, I will eat. Or if you give me a candy, I will do this. They're not like that. What are they? They are in the transcendent state. Transcendence in the sense they are working for their fathers, for their parents. Now, that is also one level of transcendence. If the child is working for the father and the parents, eventually he'll work for Krishna tomorrow. For sure, there is no doubt about it. Because these qualities are already there, dear devotees. But if they're not hearing the parents, this is where we have to be very, very careful. Because there is an every chance of deviating. I hope you are understanding. Because they are so much absorbed in Rajo and Tamo. How it is not through a problem of the parents, it is not through problem of anyone. It is a problem of the children where they have taken that kind of association, or children have those qualities inbuilt. Because another aspect, if children have those qualities inbuilt, they will take that kind of association. Now, if you ask me who you are, I'll tell you, tell me your friends. Based on that, I'll tell who you are. That means you are taking that kind of association. That means you are taking association of a drunkard, then I know who you are. If you're taking association of a woman hunter, then I know who you are. If you're taking the association of a politician, then I know who you are. If you're taking the association of a person who is duplicitous, then I know who you are. We also have this duplicitous mentality. If I take the association of a sadhaka who is practicing mixed devotion, then we are also in that state. Now we are also aspiring for that. Very clear indication. There's no problem to that. That means you name it, you name your friends, I'll tell you who are. That means our association depends on our qualities. A human being doesn't aspire to go and eat grass. A goat does, or some other animal. They do eat grass. Herbivorous animals, they do eat grass. But human beings they don't eat because their nature is different. If those animals were given halwa, do they eat? They don't eat halwa because that is not their natural situation. That means the association is taken based on the already existing swabhava and the consciousness which is there in the heart. Now, another important aspect. This is also another reason why I remember Sricharashi telling this very nicely. What it is, oh, if you are submissive to your parents, it becomes very easy for you to take up the science of Krishna consciousness. If you're not submissive to your parents, it becomes very difficult. Why? Because there are certain qualities which which are already inbuilt. They're in the dormant state. The dormant state is revealed through parents, revealed through friends, revealed to someone else. There are certain categories of people where they hear everyone. That means if they go to parents, they hear parents. If they go to friends, they hear friends. If they go to office, they hear you know a person who's telling in the office. This is even more dangerous because his consciousness is so wavering that he wanted to show himself good, and then he's trying to accept everyone's words. If that phenomena is brought to Krishna consciousness, it will be blunder. Because one devotee will say one thing, another devotee will say another thing, another devotee will say another thing. So there are 10 things, you try to follow those 10 things. Then you feel that everything is important. No doubt, everything is important. In Krishna consciousness, everything is important. But we should know what to apply when, or when to apply what. We should know that. If we don't have that clarity, when to apply what. Today, one devotee from another ISKCON center, they called to my wife phone number. They started asking, we are doing so and so service. We are doing Annadan, and would you like to help? Then, if you don't have the clarity in the process, then I took the phone. My wife said that you talk. Somebody called. Then I took the phone. I told that Mataji, Mataji, you're doing wonderful service. Please continue. But we are engaged in our temple here. She asked, which temple? I said, that temple is in Andhra Pradesh. She said, okay, all the best, Prabhu. And then she kept the phone down. That means I did not tell anything. I did not ask, oh, why I should give donation? What should I do this? Should I give this? Should I not give that? Or, or I did not say, oh, I don't work or this, that, so no, those details are not required. What is required, we should know. What is the correct answer? Mataji, we are serving at this particular temple. Any services we render, we service to this temple. Period. Then what happened? Yes, bro, wonderful. She kept the. I said before putting the phone, you are doing good service. Please continue. Because that service is given to her by their authorities, and she's doing it. Just do it. Whoever is available, they will give. Whoever heart is inspired, they will share. Why to put that person down? It's not our position. The Jiva's position is to, if there is a chance, uplift. But if there is no chance, be neutral. But that Jiva cannot take that position of putting the others down. I remember Zoran's Radhanath Swami Maharaj telling a beautiful aspect. If you want to correct someone, it's a very difficult thing. If you want to correct someone, first thing you need to understand, have you given them enough love and relationship to correct? Okay, you have good relation, you have enough, you shared enough love and relation. That's good. The feeling that yes, if you think that they can accept that correction, good. You're thinking that they can accept this correction, great. Now what you should do is you should tell some good services which they have done. What is that? So tell some good services which they have done, and then after that you do that correction. And then after correction, you have to conclude with another couple of good services which they have done. Or you can tell the previous thing which you have done. And then you can also ask them, if I caused anything, if I caused any harm, if I caused any discomfort to you, please excuse me. Dear devotees, everyone is a jiva. They're not like Tom, Dick, and Harry, where you don't know where you're going in the where you're going in the car, and then the person is also going, and then he's honking, he's showing his middle finger. Oh, it's not that kind of a situation, right? You know this person, you know his practice in Krishna consciousness, you know he's doing to his best. If you have that kind of relationship with that particular person, still if you want to correct that person, before that correction also, he told to check on. I know a spiritual master, my instructing spiritual master, he told another aspect, beautiful aspect. If you want to correct, you should understand, are you correcting them through Rajo? Are you correcting them through Thamo? Are you correcting them through Sattva or through transcendence? Which state you are correcting them? This correction is also at different levels. Because the person who is correcting, he is also affected through the gunas also, right? He can also be afflicted through the gunas. So the correction has to be seen. If he is doing in Rajo, then he'll put the hammer on their head. Because why is he doing like that? Because this person who's actually speaking, he's in Rajo. Through that Rajoguna, what is he doing? He is putting the hammer on their head. Heavy, very heavy. This is all Maya. Material world is Maya. Okay, that's okay. That's okay, Baba. Material world is Maya only. They also learned, they also heard. But what is the solution now? Cannot just say that material world is Maya. We cannot put them down, stating that you're fit for nothing, useless, full number. Cannot tell anything. We cannot do anything of that. To get something from them, we have to give love. Without love, things will not work. Today in our community, so many devotees are doing so much selfless services. They left their jobs. Also, we have scientists in our community. We have engineers in our community. We have doctors in our community. They're serving selflessly. They've given up their jobs. How is this? Is this happening in a day? No. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of association. Through that 10 years of association, they got this inspiration. It's not that the spiritual master is forcing them, oh, come, come, come. No, it is a jiva. It is a jiva who's asking the teacher, we want to come and serve. So this kind of inspiration one should receive. This is what? This is done in the state of transcendence. Because a person who's giving the association, he's in that state of transcendence. He's pulling all the jivas to that state. Now that living is not Raja, that living is not Tama, that living is not Sattva also. That living of the job is transcendence. Because why? They are leaving it to do pure service to the acharyas. That means anything which is connecting to acharyas is what? Is just transcendent. But that is what Krishna is telling. Nistraya Gunya Bhava Arjuna. Arjuna, you come to that state. How is that Arjuna is going to come to that state? Ma Manasmara Yudhyacha. Krishna tells later. Arjuna, you fight for me, Baba. You fight for me. That's it. If you fight for me, you are in the transcendent state. One time, when I was discussing, I think this was last year or before that year, a devotee was asking, practitioner Baba is new to the process. He was asking, Prabhu, working for Krishna is difficult. Are, while working for Krishna is difficult, you're working for your family. Now that will also be difficult then. That is not difficult. Why? Because you're getting some fruit from that. You're getting some fruitive results from that. Because that fruitive results are giving you satisfaction. That's what Krishna is telling. Cut that fruitive. But to cut that fruitive means he has to come to transcendence. That means the person who cannot work for Krishna, the same person is working for family, means he's actually not working for family. He's actually working for himself. Actually, I wanted to check this, what I said. We have to check this on a deeper level. Why? Because this is all a very subtle thing, dear. Actually, spirituality is very subtle science. You have to understand the deeper nuances. For example, if I'm working for me, why am I working for me? For example, if I'm working for Krishna, why am I working for him? I cannot just say that I am working for Krishna. Or I cannot just say that I'm working for myself. But there is a deeper nuances behind it. When we try to find the deeper nuances, that is where you get the jewels. What is the jewels? Why am I working for myself? Because of some reasons, because of some kind of mental happiness, because of some insecurity levels. Just like Arjuna was expressing his heartfelt feeling, he couldn't fight because he doesn't want to kill his family members. To stop that, he wanted to even avoid his duties. Please understand, this is what exactly happens. That means we avoid our duties also to get what we want to aspire. For example, I'll tell another example. Let's say a person is working as a software engineer for 15 years. You see, so many people they quit their job and then they open up farming. They do farming, they grow watermelons or some fruit, and then they try to, gain profits through that. And then they put their pictures also on the in the news channels, stating that this person worked in the industry for 15 years. Now he quit and then he's taking the path of agriculture. No, what is that? That is also part of Raja. Why that is part of Rajo? Because on one level he is not getting happiness. Because 15 years he worked on software. There's no ruchi. There's no asset because there's no, to be honest, dear devotees, there's no ruchi in that. No matter you work for 10 more years, our body will be deteriorated. We get diseases, but we will not get ruchi from that. For sure. There's no doubt about it. Doesn't matter, it's software or anything, any job. As a person worked for 15 years, he did not get ruchi. What he did is he wanted to change the gears, thinking that that will give him ruchi, asakti. The agriculture also he will do it for 5 years. After that, he will stop that also. Because that will also not give him satisfaction. Because what is he trying to do is he's trying to find the happiness. As he has an expectation that is in the plane of Raju. Very few people who follow on the name of philanthropy, they do some selfless service. Very few people, like some organizations. That's how BJP came. BJP formed through that aspect only. Wanted to do selfless service to the country. That is Sattva. But later on that changed, that transformed because Sattva people will not stay. There might be some people who are in the state of Sattva, but Rajo, Tamo will all join in, will all kick in, and then it becomes polluted. Because all of this is what, dear devotees, all of this is actually putting us in different buckets. So Sattva, if you are doing that, then you'll go to heavenly planets because you did some selfless service. As that service is not belonging to a person, you'll be taken to a platform where you can enjoy or reap the benefits which you have done. Because selflessness is also difficult in this world. So selflessness without the touch of Krishna is sattva. So that sattva will take us to different. It will not take us to hellish planets for sure, because we have not committed a crime, but we have done a pious work, because it represents a pious work. The selfless act, you have no expectations from that. You're not looking for any name and fame. You just want to do. You just want to, and through that you are getting happiness. For sure, you'll get happiness. That person might be doing for some happiness because he might have received some happiness through the plane of selflessness. Definitely, he'll get some happiness. Then he'll continue. But what is this Traigunya Vishayaveda? Nistraigunya Bhavarjan. Nistraigunya means transcendence. For transcendence, we have to develop deep relationship with the spiritual teacher, our acharyas, and the Supreme Father Krishna. When this relationship is established, then whatever you touch will become gold. Gold means auspicious, Shubham, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. What is that Sundaram? Auspiciousness. Satyam is truthful. Shivam is wonderful. This is what auspiciousness is bringing. Sundaram means obviously it's beauty. That means whatever you are touching, it becomes auspicious because you are doing everything for that. And this state is really the state of transcendence. And then this brings us to this plane of Nishta. Sadhu Sangha. Through Sadhu Sangha, you do after through Sadhu Sangha, you do Bhajana Kriya. Through Bhajana Kriya, you do Anartha Nivritti. Next, Ruchi, Bhava, Nishta, Ruchi, Bhava, Sthai Bhava, Prem, love. So it all began through what? Sadhu Sangha. And then you do slowly do Bhajana Kriya, Shravana Kirtana, hear nicely and try to apply. When you try to apply, Anartha Nivrittis are working. The Anarthas are taken care. That means you are seeing yourself in the mirror of your consciousness. Seeing yourself. How are you seeing yourself through the consciousness? Through your actions. For example, you did an action. Why you did it? You're talking to someone. Why are you talking to someone? You're doing something. Why are you doing it? You're speaking. Are you really speaking from the heart? Are you really honest? We all hear about this, right? Especially in the Western countries. What is that? Goodness, love, mindfulness. These are all terms which you hear. They all say that we love animals. Oh, what? Yes, they say that I love my dog, I love my cat, I love this, that, so many other things. They love cat, but they eat meat. What kind of love is that? That means you're loving something. On the other side, you're also hating someone. That means your love is mixed in the state of dvandva. That means it's in the duality. That means it's a quality. Love is a beautiful quality, but it is mixed with the dualities. Likewise, when this mixed of devotion is comes into Krishna consciousness, that sadhaka is called as mixed Mishra Bhakta. What is that? When Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotion, is mixed with something. Pure devotion only, yes, we should do everything for Krishna. We should surrender. But the surrender state is not there, but we are mixing. The surrender state is there in the books, but we are adding something to it. Oh, what's in for me? Hmm? Oh, if I don't do this, then what's going to happen? If I don't do that, what's going to happen? If I don't buy this, if I don't buy that, then what is my position? These are all the questions will come. This is what? Mixed. This mixed with the Shuddha Bhakta, what is that? The mixed state, the mixed state, when it is mixed with pure devotion, what is happening? It is called as Mishra state, Mishra Bhakta. It's in the middle ground. It's not completely materialistic, it's not completely on the pure level. It's on the middle ground. Middle ground means it's in the surface level. That means we are there at the shore. That means our feet is little wet. We can feel that the water is cool, and then we are feeling somewhat warmth. But only feet is wet, not the entire body. And we did not go into the ocean also inside. We're satisfied with that. A lot of people will be satisfied with that. And then through this satisfaction, they continue the life. This is also one state. But this state, if you actually see, this is in Raja. Because I have some expectations out of this. So many expectations. So, dear devotees, when we have this kind of expectations, we'll be in Raja. When we are out of these expectations, not serving a person, we'll be in Sattva. But when we begin the person purely, just like Prabhupada, just like that cobbler. You remember that cobbler Brahmana story? The cobbler is telling, I'm not looking for liberation, or I'm not behind that going back home to the spiritual world because I don't deserve that. First thing he said. Because why? Because I'm doing a lowly cheap job. Catching the shoes, holding the shoes. It's an untidy work. I'm doing that. This untidy person, how he can go to the spiritual world? He's thinking like that. That's a great thought process, actually. I remember my spiritual master also telling here very beautifully is when you are checking your heart from where you came, that naturally puts us in the humble state. For example, a woman hunter became a devotee. Giving an example. Now the devotee, he became a devotee and then he's free from all the anarthas. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. He's following the four agreed principles very nicely. He's seeing every woman as a mother. Hmm? He's really respecting them to the core of his heart. Great. But if he forgets that he was a woman hunter before, if he forgets that, then what happens is through this following of the process and he's not very deeply connected to the process, then what happens, dear devotees, is again the Rajo can be dominating because the conception of I doing that can come again, can sprout in the heart because I am doing it now. I was a woman hunter before, but now I'm doing great. That means I became pure. I came out of that. This is the problem. Prakriti kriyamani gune karmana sarvasa. Ahankara vimudatma karta aham vitimanyate. What happened? That goodness only did devotees. He was in goodness only to come out of that. But again, what happened? By seeing that goodness, pride dominated from his heart. Again, that goodness transformed into Rajo. That goodness would have been transcended when he would have established a deep relationship with them. That means how that would have transcended if he would have remembered his past. See, this woman hunter, everyone should spit on me. A useless fool, number one. But my spiritual master somehow protected me. I should serve him very, very nicely. I'm a gone case person in this world. All the hippies who actually took the process of Krishna consciousness, they continued up until this point of time very sincerely and diligently because they established a deep relationship with Srila Prabhupada and they were always remembering their past. I remember one wonderful devotee, Prabhupada disciple. I'll tell about him and then we'll conclude. Wonderful devotee. He was telling, Prabhu, you're all hippies, you are not very good personalities. You had so many bad habits. Oh, the Prabhu is wonderful devotee. What he's telling, Generally, what happens? They will tell negatives about other persons. Once they have some position, they tell negatives about other person. But this devotee is not like that. This devotee is genuine jump. He's telling about his father. Prabhu, I said, I will put, I want to offer obeisances to you because I know who you are. You are a great devotee. Don't tell like that, Prabhu. Don't tell like that. I know that's your humility. And then he told one thing. I have to do two things. I have to remember my past and I have to remember the person who brought out of that past. It's interesting. What is that? I have to remember the past and I also have to remember the person who brought out of that past. If I do these two things, my Krishna consciousness will be beautiful. I see him practicing since 50 years, serving very nicely. This is a beauty. That means we have to remember both. We have to remember the past, we have to remember the person who removed us from that past. Hare Krishna. Our teachers, our acharyas, we should be endowed to them. This is, dear devotees, this is achara pasana. If you do achara pasana, you will be in the state of transcendence. Traigunya Vishwa, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. This is how you come out of this transcendence. If the Acharya says tolerate, you have to tolerate. You have problems with your wife, just tolerate. Titiksava Karunika Surda Saradehina Majat Shatrasha. If you have problem with your husband, just tolerate, accept. This is a condition given to me by the Lord. To just accept. No complaints. Just accept. Tolerate and accept. And then move forward. What a beautiful process, Prabhu. You are actually taking the association of Yoga Maya, internal energy, without your endeavor only. Simply through process of Shravana, simply through process of being absorbed in that state of consciousness. You are moved out from the Rajoguna, you are moved out from Tamoguna, you are moved out from Sattva, and then you are established in Shuddha Sattva. This is what Krishna is actually telling. It's a beautiful question Shital Mataji was asking. It's a very interesting question. Because that is the essence of this sloka. How a sadhaka will actually come out of Rajo, Tamo, Sattva, and then come to Shuddha Sattva. This is a process. Connection. Shravana Kirtana. Becoming absorbed. Taking their words as the life and soul. If we do this, wow. Sky is the limit. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? We'll begin from sloka number 46 tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, and Namaste. Thank you
Hare
so much
Krishna.
for your wonderful inspiration every day for us. Because without this, our day doesn't start. How to be selfless, even though sometimes, doing my services, but attached to those services. But, you explained how we have to do it in a selfless plane. And also, Prabhuji, you mentioned about, these gunas. Try to, even in Sattva guna also, there is attachment. But we have to come out of that one also. And, whatever we do it only for Krishna and never try to get name, fame, recognition, because that will again bind us. That's my understanding, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, bro. It's very important. The more we, this is for us actually. We have to be in that state. We have to come to that plane. Strive to develop that consciousness. Because the devotees, whenever you try to do that, you know who is watching? Krishna is watching. It's interesting. He's watching. Krishna is watching your every endeavor. Let's say you're struggling to do the rounds. Krishna is watching. It's good. The struggle is good. We're struggling to do services without our personal motive, trying to do it for the pleasure of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, and the Lord. The Lord is saying that. Thus, He is so pleased with that attitude also. The Lord is so pleased because if you're constantly in that particular state and then thinking about, because what are rich bastards doing about us? And they're fully selfless, they are. They have nothing for themselves. Beautiful state. Today, actually, I wanted to tell something of another aspect today, but this came today. We'll discuss this tomorrow. What is that is how important is to cultivate faith in the process and how we get that faith. If the faith is not there, no matter what we have, it's all useless endeavor. No matter we become big person in the spirituality also, the faith is not there. One time, as soon as Radhana Swami Maharaj, he went to a, I think I'll tell this tomorrow. But let me give a synopsis. He was talking to a Christian preacher. No, I'll tell this tomorrow. It's a story which I wanted to tell. Where beautifully it nails down of how important is to develop that faith. Now Krishna is telling Triguna Vishayada Nistriguna Bhagavata. He's telling, come out of this Rajo, Sattva and Tamoguna and then situate in the plane of pure transcendence. Dear devotees, as I said, right, second chapter is a synopsis of everything. That means you get all topics covered in this. That means Krishna is telling about three gunas. And after that, he will not come out of three gunas again. Three gunas is done. Next, he will begin on karmas. And then he'll continue and then he'll go to another aspect. So there are various aspects which are revealed in this particular chapter. Then he talks about pure devotee. Wonderful journey, dear devotees. This Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. It's beautiful. If you understand chapter 2, if you are really convinced, your faith is fully developed. That faith, that conviction has to come from the heart. Then submission will come. So many beautiful qualities will be manifested. And then you move forward. And then go from there. Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Otherwise, I'll stop it here. Thank you all very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Bye.
Accept my humblings. All those to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, thank you so very much, Prabhu. Beautifully explained on how to check the mode, whether we are in Rajastamo or Sattva, and then how can the Sattva be transcendental, Shuddha Sattva? The way we talk, the way we in the start of the class also you were mentioning about how to talk to the children, the, whether it's in sattva or whether we are trying to encourage them to be, whether we are talking in shuddha sattva to encourage them get closer to Krishna. So very important. But I would like to hear more on it, Prabhu. How to deal with the dependence in the Shuddha Sattva plane through these daily activities. I know you mentioned multiple times about association. Yes, Prabhu.
Multiple, you said continue.
And I was just saying, you mentioned in the past multiple times about association. In all of this, if we have a pure devotees association, your community, as you explained in the class also, right? If we are taking association of mixed devotee, then we get, obviously we'll get that mood and
Obviously, if you see an aspirant who's taking the process very light, that's okay. Chill marna. Ek din chanting nahi karo to kya hota hai? If you take that kind of association, then they'll say, okay, that's okay. We can chill. Antakalish hai na. At the time of death, we have to remember the Lord. Now I can do some chilling.
mm,
Not gonna die today or tomorrow. Have time. Relax, Baba. You also have to. You're only in 30s now. Relax. Give time, earn more, enjoy. At the end, just like Ajamil, he enjoyed, and at the end, he also went to Bhagavatam. Do like that. Chill. That is also association. We don't discuss that. We should understand. What is my aspiration? What is my role model? Why am I doing this? If you ask all these questions, dear devotee, you go right into it, right into the absolute truth. Thing is, we have to do that. We have to be honest to ourselves. Today in the class also we were discussing for the children. I was asking, are you really honest to yourself? I cannot tell them today, but we will discuss this tomorrow. It's very important, dear devotees. If I am not, what is real love? That means my son, you want to treat your son as good and then the other son not good. What is that kind of love? That is not love. That is raga. That is attachment. Today there are so many beautiful aspects which cannot be revealed in half an hour. It cannot be revealed in within 1 hour.
Mm.
There's so much to this science of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
So it's very important that I mean the association that we give to children. We are not in the. I'm not in the plane of Shuddha Sattva. If we really check the heart, then that intelligence which should be given by Krishna, more we depend on Krishna. So it's very important that they also everyone sit together and hear the class, hear the message, because this is transcendental message. Then Krishna will mercifully give intelligence to them also when we talk together apart from the class. That's what we learn, what we hear in the class is what we apply throughout the day, right, Prabhu? So it's 1 hour of class, but the rest of the 23 hours is with us. They'll be with us. They would be with the school or whatever. So they have to know what they have to live that 23 hours in a way that they learn in this 1 hour. So they have to sit together also. Yeah, we all have to sit together and hear. Then we discuss and correct ourselves, because even I have to correct myself. I'm not in that
Exactly. We have to
lane.
correct ourselves.
So,
We cannot
so
more hours. There is a
yeah,
chance, you know.
true. So that would help.
Tell one thing, I'll tell one thing. It
Yes,
is easy to tell. It's difficult to be. It is difficult to become an example.
yes,
It is easy to give an example. It's not easy to become an example. You have to work very hard for that. You have to become an example. We have to become an example.
yes,
We cannot let this go. We cannot say that, oh, next person will take this process. Next person, no. We have to take this process. It is easy to tell. It is easy to preach. Difficult to follow. Yadyat atarate tattate vitorojana. It's easy to tell. I can tell the sloka very easily. No, the following has to come. The sadhaka has to follow this. This is meant to follow. This is not to let go. Oh, that's okay, my children, that's okay. Oh, this thing, that's okay. That's okay, they're unable to do this. That's okay. They're unable to get up. That's okay. They have classes. That's okay. They have school. That's okay. No, how many times? This entire life is for this only. No, we have to break this somewhere. We have to understand this importance. We have to give this importance to our dependents. If we cannot deliver our dependence, that means we are making a great mistake. We have to work on that. We should hear every day. We should discuss. Should be. We should come to that state. Should analyze. Festivals will come and go. What is the real thing? Real thing is bhakti. Prabhupada says. It has to be, we have to become that. We cannot wait like a jamil. Cannot do it. A jamil is a wild card entry. That's not guaranteed for us. What about we don't remember that person, that Narayana name at the time of death? We don't know. So we'll discuss more about this. I think I have to stop. Please excuse me if I cause you inconvenience. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, all devotees. Please go ahead, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस पूजाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शताब्दी चरणारविंद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस पूजाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शता हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज ठाकुर श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। अनेक कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंज राधा कुंज गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। द्वारका धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। समवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assemble devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assemble devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assemble devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, have an amazing Krishna conscious Thursday. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Grace from Shrilas Prabhuji ki jai.
All devotees ki jai.
Ki jai. Namananda Prabhuji ki jai. Shaitanya Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
All devotees ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Subala Gopal Prabhuji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.